Good morning, y'all live with Dre on Freedom Ain't Free, and it's Messy Mondays, giving honor to God who's the head of my life. We're gonna wait till we get a few viewers in this morning topic. We're gonna discuss the men. I know it's Messy Mondays, and it's not even about being messy. We're gonna discuss the men because the men don't get enough respect in this world. They don't get enough justification and honor as being men. And I feel like we need to discuss it because a lot of our men are being killed by senseless acts. These young men don't have nothing to look up to because they thinking that guns is what it is. When we need to start cutting the fire hydrants back on, we need to open the Boys and Girls Youth Clubs back up. Y'all need to start being more big brothers and big sisters, because at some point we losing our youth as well as our adults. It's not just the kids killing each other. You know what I'm saying? It's adults as well. So at some point we got to grab hold of life and get with each other amongst one another so that our kids can at least live to the ages that we are. At some point, we got to change. We got to do something different because the world is like a fucking massive war out here. It's just like, okay, the Lions lost and people start losing their mind. At some point, we have to do better as a whole. And we sit around, we discuss everything but the right things, like discussing what things that's taking place that's not right. At some point, y'all got to start grabbing these niggas, telling them, dog, that ain't what's up. We ain't even doing that. But y'all don't do that because everything is a joke. Everything is a laugh. Everything is a like. Until it's your life, until it's your kid's life, or it's till somebody that you actually love or care about life, at some point we have to do better. And it's like we all living in a world together. We all see each other. We see it every day. We see shit happening. We don't even check people on it because instead of y'all checking them, y'all think it's amusing and it's not. At some point, we gotta grow up. We have to start checking motherfuckers on shit that we know that is not right. We have to start being better for these kids. And ladies, y'all have to stop feeling like you could talk to a grown man any kind of way and disrespect a grown man because things not going your way. At some point, you had a daddy, you had a granddaddy, you have uncles. Somebody taught y'all something, but it's so bad out here to the point where it's the men not even men because the way y'all women are treating them and they feel less than a man. It's like women know how it feels to feel less than a woman from it coming from a man. It breaks everything up in you, your pride, your spirit, all of that. So how you think a man feel when you disrespected him, breaking his pride, making him feel less than a man? At some point, we got to do better with the men because the men is supposed to be here to protect us. It's not just the police, okay? It's not, oh, they ain't supposed to protect and serve. No, I'm talking about genuine men. I'm not talking about boys. I'm not talking about little niggas. I'm talking about grown, steadfast men that literally step up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledge their children, acknowledge their job, acknowledge the lady. At some point, we have to do better because we living in this world. And it's messed up because we sit around and down and dog each other instead of getting together trying to do something better for one another. And it's sad. It really is because a lot of people lost their lives over the weekend. Literally. And there's a lot of families that's mourning right now. And it's really sad because it's like to actually witness somebody get killed is the worstest thing that you can, remember in your mind, literally. So at some point, it's like, don't y'all think we should put the guns down, cut the fire hydrants back on? You know what I'm saying? Get these kids together. Y'all got to start these youth programs back over. Something has to give at some point. And it's not just for the kids, like I said. You adults, y'all need to go back to class as well. Not so much as the gun class either. I'm talking about class itself. Because a lot of y'all kids haven't been taught anything. Because how you going to teach somebody something you don't know? At some point, y'all know that. But it's messed up because, like I said, we agree with the bullshit instead of checking them on it when it happened right then and there. Guess what y'all do? Y'all fall in line and laugh, and it's a joke. But at the end of the day, when somebody's being buried, it's not funny no more. It wasn't funny before it got to that point. But in reality of life that we living in, is at some point, it's like some of y'all, I don't think y'all know that y'all really only got one life to live. Because had you known it, you wouldn't even play Russian roulette with your life. Y'all sit around and then you making fun of things that's not funny. The fact that a lot of y'all had the audacity to post these men that was deceased, it was dead wrong. And condolence to both families. Because at some point, y'all have to know, God will put y'all in a position, whether you know it or not. That could be you, that could be your child, that could be your loved one. Y'all never keep in mind of how others feel when things like this come into play. Because had you did, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't be about to have funerals. We wouldn't be saying prayers and condolences. At some point, again, as men, y'all have to start standing up to the young niggas and the young boys and stop calling them young bull and killer and things like that, and start teaching them how to be grown-ass men, how to tie ties, how to fill out job applications, how to literally listen. There's no way you riding and she walking, your kids walking and you riding, things like that. Y'all got to start doing better. And I know it's easy to say like, oh, it don't matter, because at some point when kids get grown, they do what they want to do. What about the ones that's not grown? What about the ones that's looking up to you? What about the ones that's finding y'all guns in a room and shooting their brothers and sisters and cousins? Y'all not looking at shit like that, because y'all looking at everything as if, oh, it ain't my fault. Guess what? Stop blaming people and try to make change so we won't have to deal with this. And it's happening so much. It's like y'all not looking at the fact that yesterday was just Friday and today Monday. It was just August. It's almost October. Like time ain't waiting on nobody at all. Y'all sitting around waiting on time, baby, please. It's moving. While you sitting around moping and worrying about something you don't got no control over and God got control, guess what? The world is still spinning. At some point, again, y'all got to do better. I'm not going to dog the men out, because there's a lot of men out here that don't deserve it. But the men that are not doing what they supposed to do, and the men that's sitting around feeling like it's okay to be pulling the strap out, or it's okay to go pick your kids up to fight other kids, or it's okay to shoot up a house, that shit is not okay at all. If your homeboy or your homegirl ain't telling you, the foolishness need to be at a ceased. So at some point, we got to come to divine order. And we got to stick together, because guess what? If we could stick together at a fucking funeral to bury your child, you should be wanting to stick together to save your child. It's not, at some point, we got to have an understanding. We start with God, okay? Or we're going to end with a tail, and we're not going to know how to tuck it at some point. I had to learn myself. I kept saying this to myself, like, why do I have a good heart and a giving hand? And I had to learn the reason I had it is because I wanted it to come back to me so much, to the point where I just consistently did it. And it's okay, because a lot of people question themselves when they do good things by people that are not right for you. At some point, you got to know that God gonna bless you. Regardless of the fact of listening to others or how other people feel, guess what? Stand in your truth. If you got that heart in that hand and you feel like somebody is in a situation where they're doing something wrong, guess what? At some point, it's okay to be silenced. But in the midst of the hour, baby, you have to speak up, because it could save a life. Y'all be sitting around playing Russian roulette. It's like you play silly games, you get silly prizes. And at some point, it's like, when do we grow up? Like when? When is it okay for you to sit down and be a real man instead of a real nigga and listen to a man telling you that ain't cool? When is it okay for you to have an understanding? Let me teach you so that you can know. But it's so many of y'all out here feel like y'all know everything. Oh, it don't matter. You don't. And that's why you wind up in the box, because you don't know everything. And for the ladies that y'all feel like, oh, he my nigga, this, that, and the other. If he a nigga, he not your man, period. And that's exactly how I feel. And we have to start telling these kids that, because at some point we went through it, but they not listening because they feel like they at an age, I'm grown. They don't need our opinion. But that's where you come in now. You have to allow them to bump their head. But in the same breath, when y'all allow them to bump their head, y'all be letting them go. It's like, oh, they grown. No, that's not how it works. If you a real parent and you love your kids, you're not going to just let them take off. Because at some point when these kids take off, they don't come back in the direction as they left. And I don't think y'all be hearing it or seeing it or knowing it until you looking. Oh, I feel like God should let us all see our death. I'm talking about watch your child lay in that box and then tell me what kind of change you're willing to make in life. At some point, some of us been in relationships that we felt like it was a death because it was hard to get over. And it was like, oh my God, the memories, the love, the thoughts. But at some point, guess what? You got past it. You got past it. You never get over death. Guess what? It just sees and assists because it's still there because they're no longer here amongst the living. But at some point, you have to take the initiative to want change because we all promise death. But who wants to die before it's their time? That's the silly shit that we endure. Y'all see my shirt? It says freedom ain't free. Y'all, half of y'all done been there, right? So you have to understand it. You have to pay to stay in prison. Things like that. It's like everything in the world has become weird or diabolical because of how people are moving, what people are saying, what people are doing. But I don't understand how y'all cheering for the wrong shit, but the right shit is nobody in line. But for the wrong shit, guess what? The line is filled. At some point, I'm getting in this line. Because somebody got to make a difference. Somebody got to do better. Somebody got to tell these kids. At some point, when y'all get tired of it and y'all send them away and feel like, oh, I'm over that, they grown. And then they go bump their head and put themselves in a position now they actually need you. Where do you come in at? Y'all have to stop being half-ass parents as well. It's not just so much as the fathers. You know, y'all love to beat on the fathers. Oh, he ain't here. He left. He got a new woman, this, that, and the other. What about you deadbeat-ass mammies? What about y'all mamas that feel like, oh, y'all are dressing the kids between loving the kids? What about y'all? What about the mothers that feel like, oh, I ain't doing shit for him because you hate the father, so you don't want to take care of your own child? It's a lot of it going on. Y'all always downing the fathers. Y'all always downing the men. But at some point, where do the men step up and say, you know what? The reason I left is because her house was nasty. Or the reason I left because she wasn't properly taking care of the kids, and every time I said something, I had to shut the fuck up. At some point, y'all have to know where y'all going wrong and where you went wrong. But y'all don't look at it like that because everything is a joke or it's funny or it's becoming a meme until you become a body on a t-shirt. Then it's not funny no more. Then you out there selling nasty ass dinners. And then you sitting around laughing and joking until now it's your time to stand on the news. And you looking dumb as hell with a dirty shirt on. And guess what? Now you become the butt of everybody's jokes. At some point, y'all gonna have to stop and realize that everybody has to grow. Period. Everybody has to grow. And at some point, we should be teaching these youths as well as these adults the right thing and not the wrong thing. Because allowing them to do fuck shit in your face and you know it wrong makes you a fuck bitch or a fuck nigga. So at some point, y'all should try to do the best to help others opposed to helping them hinder themselves into doing shit they have no business. It's sad, but it's true. And at some point, I hope everybody woke up this morning that actually hit this platform, took the initiative to, it's okay to help somebody. It's okay to pray for everybody. At some point, tell them that it's not right what they're doing. At some point, help them so they can understand how to do it. At some point, stop ignoring these children. At some point, it's like, you know how y'all sit and you trying to teach somebody something that you don't know? It's impossible. So it's okay to learn. Period. Good morning, everybody. We had a horrible weekend in Detroit. We really did. We had a horrible weekend from a lot of deaths. Babe, I'm really sorry for your father's death as well. When I say a lot of people lost their lives, it's very, very, very sad. It is. And we have to pray not only for the adults, but we also have to pray for our children. Because at some point, we losing the adults as well as the children. And if we don't do better as a whole, we're going to lose each other, literally. But at some point, I'm going to need y'all to have a safe, blessed day. And don't just stand on business when it comes to bullshit. Stand on business. Step out on faith. Get you some grace, some mercy. You know what I'm saying? And the people that be lying, y'all saying y'all praying, God say 2 or 3 more gather, he hear you. Y'all need to start gathering in holes and start praying, literally. Yeah, cook, and that's sad because it's like you try to teach somebody something and tell them the right thing, but you got a lot of women out here that feel like, oh, my kid ain't got to listen to you. Yes, the fuck he or she do. And if I'm paying a bill in your house, bitch, you better get these kids in line or I'm taking my money and me and gone. That's where men fall prey to women at, because there's too many women in the world for y'all to keep yourself in a position all because, oh, I met that one. No. It's a lot of that ones out here. We get stuck like that as women as well. When you meet a dude and you be stuck like Chuck or gone like the Monica song trying to figure it out. But it's like you have to unleash yourself. You have to stop being comfortable in spaces you're comfortable in and get in a space you're uncomfortable in. That way, when you like something that likes you, then you're going to have to understand it. It's a lot of people be like, oh, I don't like him, he ugly. Oh, I don't like her, she ugly. Ugly might be for you. You just got to know when to hold and when to fold. But at some point, if you dating somebody for the beauty, baby, you ain't never going to have nothing. And ladies, stop allowing men to do shit in your household, but then when he has something to say about your kids or your house being nasty or you even preparing a meal, you mad. No, that's all on you, baby girl. At some point, you got to grow up too. Y'all got to start cleaning these houses. And y'all got to start bathing because I'm tired of niggas inboxing me talking about, yeah, you need to start tilling. Listen, y'all butt be stinking. Y'all vaginas be reaping. Get some help. Point blank, period. That's all I can tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? At some point, it's like y'all be mad at the men, but why? Y'all be going, sleeping with him. Y'all be handling business with him and everything else. But then when he cut into you about the right thing, your hygiene, your kids, your house, then you got a problem. No. Stand on business like you was standing on business with that nigga. Point blank, period. At some point, y'all have to do better. Y'all be mad because somebody come to y'all and tell y'all the real and try to kick it with you on things that they feel like you should already be doing at a certain age, and then you mad. No, baby. Because a lot of things that you don't know, we learned in grade school. And that's why I say mental health is real. Because a lot of y'all are not mentally stable to even register what some people can comprehend. And it's sad, but y'all be mad. You cannot get mad because my thing is this. If I tell you something and you can't comprehend it, how the hell is it registering? How you going to answer the question if you don't even understand where I'm coming from? And a lot of y'all have that problem. And a lot of women feel like they know everything. And that's why the men leave, because they get it's not so much as the mouth, because everybody run their mouth. It's the point of, if I'm trying to teach you something, guess what? Fall in line. But a lot of y'all women want to be leaders as well as men. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when I say that, ladies, let the men lead. Y'all be acting like y'all stone cold niggas out here. Like, and I see it every day. And a lot of y'all be mad. I don't act like you do. You do. Tone it down. Get in your lady mode, because at some point, where the woman come in at. And that's why men feel disrespected. That's why men feel like y'all don't have enough respect for them and y'all don't give them they roses, because at some point, he cut into you about being a nigga. It's all about growth, baby. Guess what? Get it up out of you. But again, y'all have to understand, having a vagina does not keep a man. We're going to clear that up, okay? Cooking, cleaning, praying, and being with the Lord and staying your ass out of people's business in the house is something that a man would prefer than the don every day, the shaking that ass every day, or I got to go to my homegirl house every day. At some point, y'all have to grow up, and y'all have to stop blaming men for y'all childhood trauma and things that y'all doing right now today as parents, as not being a fucking parent. Everybody have a safe, blessed, messy Monday.